Rolex and Audemars Piguet aren't just heavyweights in the luxury watch ring, they're the titans of timekeeping. Pitting Rolex against the Royal Oak is like debating Scotch versus Bourbon, both smooth operators, but each tells time with its own twist. Rolex is the old-school cool, oozing prestige and a kind of understated swagger that's almost tangible. These watches don't just keep time, they keep stories. They've climbed mountains and plumbed ocean depths, all without skipping a beat. Sporting a Rolex isn't just about flaunting a watch, it's about strapping on a slice of history that casually remarks, been there, done that, and yes, I was on time. The challenges. Dive into the world of luxury watches and you'll find it's less like a quiet museum and more like a rock concert, where each brand jams out its own legendary riff. Audemars Piguet? They're the rebels on the main stage, smashing conventions with their electric guitar solos. Their Royal Oak is not just a watch, it's a revolution on your wrist, a bold statement that screams, conformity is so last century. And then there's Rolex, the cool, classic virtuoso of the watch world. Think of Rolex as the jazz legend of timepieces, smooth, classic, and unflappably cool. These aren't just watches, they're icons that have weathered storms and scaled peaks, all while keeping their cool. Slipping on a Rolex doesn't just mean you're punctual, it means you're perpetually ready for a close-up, no matter if you're summiting Everest or diving for sunken treasure. Peeking behind the curtains at the philosophies of Audemars Piguet and Rolex reveals a stark contrast in their approaches to watchmaking. Audemars Piguet is like that indie band that refuses to sign with a label, opting instead to handcraft their masterpieces in limited runs, preserving the soul of watchmaking with every tick. They're in it for the art, collaborating with local artisans who still treat watchmaking like the fine art it should be. Just a quick pause. Why not become part of the opulent Oasis family? Hit subscribe for exclusive updates on luxury timepieces. Now, back to the fun. Meanwhile, Rolex is the stadium-filling rock star who has somehow managed to keep their soul while signing with the big labels. They've industrialized their process without losing an ounce of quality, proving you can rock mass production and still drop the mic with every release. It's a balancing act of classic appeal and cutting-edge innovation, making Rolex not just a watch, but a legacy that ticks to the rhythm of excellence. So, whether you vibe with the art house boldness of Audemars Piguet or the timeless hits of Rolex, each watch is more than a timekeeper. It's a piece of your personal storyline, echoing your style in every tick. After all, in the grand concert of life, isn't it about time your watch played your tune? Craftsmanship and pricing. While Rolex consistently serves up quality that's nothing to sneeze at, Audemars Piguet takes craftsmanship to dizzying heights with its artisan touch. Imagine this. Rolex is like the big-time brewery pumping out 1 million pints a year, while Audemars Piguet is the boutique vineyard handcrafting a select batch of fine wine. The difference in volume isn't just a trivia fact, it's a testament to the bespoke care that each Audemars Piguet watch receives. And when it comes to pricing, Audemars Piguet's timepieces often hit the $1 million mark, making Rolex look almost like a bargain, though still a splurge that might require skipping a few lattes or a few hundred. Take a closer look at some iconic models to truly appreciate their charm. The Rolex Submariner, for example, is a titan in the diving world. Its price trajectory is a roller coaster, from a humble $150 back in 1957 to a whopping $7,500 today, a jump that would make even the stock market blush. Meanwhile, Audemars Piguet's Royal Oak Offshore struts its stuff with exclusivity and sophistication, sporting price tags that range from $30,000 to $50,000, basically screaming, I'm not just any watch, I'm an investment. Then there's the Rolex Datejust, which fetches around $122,200 on average, rivaling Audemars Piguet's Royal Oak chronograph that also plays in the same luxury league. When it comes to pricing, Audemars Piguet's watches typically command about 5 times what you'd pay for a Rolex. This isn't just because they like big numbers, it's because each piece is crafted not just as a timekeeper, but as a masterpiece. Both brands shine in the secondary market, where their watches are not just purchased, but pursued with the zeal of treasure hunters. Whether it's a vintage gem or a freshly minted model, both Rolex and Audemars Piguet have watches that see their value not just hold, but often increase. Proof that sometimes age really does come with benefits. Digging deeper into their offerings, we see that Rolex's Oyster case isn't just about being waterproof, it's about being life-proof, ready to handle whatever deep dive or high climb you throw at it. On the flip side, Audemars Piguet's Grande Sonnerie is a marvel that doesn't just tell time, it practically sings it, proving that watches can be both seen and heard. In the end, Rolex and Audemars Piguet might cater to seemingly different crowds, one for the steadfast adventurer, the other for the audacious art lover, but at heart, they both champion the cause of unparalleled excellence. They each offer a legacy of precision, where every tick is a statement of style, and every toque a testament to enduring craftsmanship. Whether you're wrapping a Rolex around your wrist or slipping on an Audemars Piguet, you're not just keeping time, you're keeping company with the icons of watchmaking. So, take your pick and let your watch say more about you than your words ever could. Personal choices and lasting impressions. Some folks lean towards Rolex for its unmistakable classic charm. It's like the Swiss Army knife of the high society, stylish yet sturdy enough to hang with both James Bond and your tough-as-nails granddad. It's the sort of watch that effortlessly transitions from black tie events to backyard barbecues. Then, there's the camp that cheers for Audemars Piguet, drawn to its pioneering spirit and flair for the dramatic. Audemars Piguet isn't just in the business of making watches, they're in the business of making statements. It's the watch for those who want their wristwear to spark conversations, perhaps even a little controversy. Deciding between Rolex and Audemars Piguet isn't just about picking a watch, it's akin to choosing between a vintage wine and a craft cocktail. Do you go with the Rolex, a symbol of tried and true craftsmanship that's as reliable as an old friend? Or do you dare to strap on an Audemars Piguet, a bold innovator that's always one step ahead of the curve, ready to challenge the status quo at every tick? It's all about the personal statement you want to make. Opting for a Rolex is like choosing a well-tailored suit. It never goes out of style, and it's respected in every room it enters. It's dependable, dignified, and tells the world you value the enduring legacies of the past. In contrast, choosing an Audemars Piguet is like wearing a piece of avant-garde art on your sleeve. It's edgy, it's eye-catching, and it definitely doesn't whisper. It speaks volumes. Each tick is a testament to the brand's relentless pursuit of innovation and artistry. But let's dig a bit deeper. When you pick a Rolex, you're not just keeping time, you're keeping a tradition. It's the watch that's been to the deepest depths of the ocean and the highest heights of the mountains, proving itself time and time again as the epitome of resilience and elegance. Meanwhile, embracing an Audemars Piguet is like joining an elite club of modern art collectors. You're not just measuring hours and minutes, you're celebrating the craft of watchmaking reimagined by audacious creativity. So whether you find yourself with a Rolex or an Audemars Piguet gracing your wrist, you're doing more than just telling time, you're telling your story. These watches are not mere timekeepers, they are symbols of taste, personal milestones, and individual journeys. They serve as a daily reminder of where you've been and where you're going, each tick a step further in your narrative. In a world that often moves too fast, choosing a watch like a Rolex or an Audemars Piguet allows you to not just chase time, but to savor it, each moment, rich with history and possibility. As we close the book on this horological head-to-head, the question isn't so much whether Rolex can square up to Audemars Piguet, but more about savoring the variety they bring to the watch world. Rolex dishes out timeless elegance like a trusted classic novel, while Audemars Piguet throws curveballs of innovation like a plot twist you never saw coming. It's less of a showdown and more a celebration of style and substance. Whether you're a fan of Rolex's steadfast charm or you're drawn to Audemars Piguet's bold strokes, both brands are ticking proof that in the world of luxury watches, diversity is truly the spice of life. Don't forget to subscribe to Opulent Oasis and ring that bell for more luxe adventures. See you in the next video.